Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of PCs and EVs. You guys join me right outside the Electrified GV70. And it's time. We're going on a road trip to Myrtle Beach. Tonight I'm going to be stopping in Hartford, Connecticut. And we're going to detail all our charging stops and how the road trip is. It's about a 900-mile road trip and how that goes on a CCS car since we've gone to Florida on the Model Y before. Popping in and starting the car up. This loaner was given to me with 138 miles on it the first time I got it. And yeah, I've put 2,150 miles on it so far, and I'm about to put a bunch more on it. We currently have 90% battery, and so let's hit the road. You can really see the double rainbow now. You guys join me here in Hartford, Connecticut at a station that doesn't have any CHAdeMO plugs. So we're just plugging in the GV70 for the first time at a 350 kilowatt that I've been able to get. We got here, it's about, I think it's like 120 miles, and we got here with 27% state of charge. Let's see what we ramp up to. Man, it's ripping. The battery will heat up a little bit, and then it'll kick up even more on speed. We'll keep an eye on that, and I'll show you guys once it does. And in just a moment, once that battery hits 25 degrees Celsius on the battery minimums, we should ramp right up in speed. But wow, less than 2 minutes, over 5 kilowatt delivered. It's been a while. 14 minutes to 80%. We're gonna charge to damn near 100% here, just so we can start the next day with about 100% battery. But I have not charged this fast in a long time. Look at that. Just must have hit that temperature gate. And up to 233 kilowatt. Nuts. Genuinely good charging session from EA. Obviously, we're going to stay a bit higher than this. But we're at 87%, and it only took us 18 minutes to get 52 kilowatt hour. Now, if I was paying by the kilowatt hour, it would have been $24. That's absurd. We're still getting 69-ish, 68, 65 kilowatt here at 87%. I'm gonna let this go until we hit 100% and it stops my charge, or we hit 30 minutes of charging, whichever one happens first, and then I'll head to the hotel. All right, so it's the next morning and we're leaving with 221 miles estimated on the guessometer. Yeah, we'll see. I've got a destination set for us about 160 miles away, or 145 rather, because that's where the closest Electrify America, or the farthest Electrify America that I think we can actually make it to is. That was a pretty good segment, 142-ish miles at 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour. We arrived with, I'll have to double check, let's take a look, 45 miles of range, 22%. Let's get plugged in at this 350 in East Brunswick, New Jersey, Electrify America. And third charging station is the charm. That one still shows as being in use in the app. That one on either handle, wow, I'm tired, you can tell because I'm stumbling over my words. That one on either handle will only do about 150 amps. It'll only do about 100 kilowatt, maybe slightly above. This 150 is saying 4 less minutes to 80%, and we're at 145 kilowatt right away, and rock solid. I will take that 100% of the time. I might just look for 150s on this trip if 350s are gonna act stupid like this. Obviously we've got the good 350s that are the single cable ones, but for Signet units like these, I'll probably just go for 150s. Less issues. And just like that, 22 minutes, 48 kilowatt hour. Let's unplug, 87%. Come on. Man, the fact that this is just how we charged with no cover on it is insane. Get her closed up. And you can really see just how many bugs we hit on that last segment. My goodness, we're gonna need a car wash at this rate. And and got here to our next stop after 174.5 miles after recharging, and we averaged 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour. We got here with 15% state of charge, so not too bad. Let's get plugged in. Just plugged into the 150 because, wouldn't you know it, a 350 shows in use on the app when there's no one here. In addition to that, this other 350 is completely offline. Electrify America, you have so much promise that you just throw away. Well, let's wait and see what we start charging at.
Charging started.
There we go. Starting to ramp up. Currently claims 22 minutes to 80%. Not horrible. Yeah, we'll have to figure it out once it's done doing the signature surge bullshit. The things you see in Maryland. Gotta say, the mall here is pretty nice. They have a really, really nice looking Lego store. I'm just not happy that we're only getting 125 kilowatt. Is what it is, but they're 150 kilowatt stations, and there's 350s that don't even work. You could improve very vastly by just improving your reliability. You don't even need to add more chargers necessarily. But, yeah, just a word to Electrify America. On our last segment, we did 140 miles, basically. Averaged 3 miles per kilowatt hour. And in just a moment, we'll see what we've got here for as far as percentage. But we're at the Electrify America in Richmond, Virginia. Got here, it looks like at 22%. Just plugged in, and let's see what we end up ramping up to. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit. The station has one that is significantly derated. Alright, it's 23 minutes to 80. That's not too bad. There's a decent array of cars here. We'll show that off in just a split sec. Got a nice Bolt EUV red line. We've got an ID4, a Lucid Air, another ID4, and a Mustang Mach-E on the end there. And obviously our GV70 electrified. Let's see. Ramped right up to 122 kilowatt. Not great, not horrid. Should be fine. And another ID4 pulling up. And just like that, unplugged at 80%. Let's get it closed up and let's hit the road. Off to the next stop. Now we only have about 300 miles left before our destination, so we probably have got one, and then like I said, we'll probably do a second charging session just for so that we have charge to go around town and everything. Just plugged in, but we arrived after another 140 miles, averaging 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour. We're here charging at ChargePoint CPE 250 shared 125 kilowatt station at a Chick-fil-A. Now this ChargePoint CPE 250 is located, like I said, at a Chick-fil-A. I ended up picking something up myself. Biggest thing that I'm not a fan of, the cost of this charging session. They have a 99-cent session fee, and then the energy itself is 59 cents per kilowatt hour. That's absurd. We stopped here because the next EA station is just a tiny bit too far, and realistically we only have about 200 miles left. We're gonna top up maybe once more on the road, probably, and then we're gonna obviously top up close to our destination as well. But yeah, I mean, we've gotten 23 kilowatt hour and it's been $8. That's absurd. And just like that, spent $13 to charge to 61%. We're gonna unplug and hit up an EA. And on that segment of the trip, we went about 100 miles, got 3 miles per kilowatt hour, and we're gonna plug into this 350 that is rated at 50 kilowatt in the app, but we'll just see what happens. All right, so got plugged in on the other station. We're getting about 119 kilowatt. And shouldn't take us too long. Had a nice Ioniq 5 owner who pulled up, helped him get plugged in and everything, so everything's good. We have successfully arrived at our destination after 85 miles at 3 miles per kilowatt hour. Let's take a look at what we've got left. We are at 47% state of charge. Not a bad trip, that's for sure. The Myrtle Beach Hyundai, they have a DCFC here. It's a charge point unit. It's 62.5 kilowatt. We're getting 58.2, 59-ish kilowatt right away. It is pretty pricey. Sorry for the screen freaking out, but yeah. 156 amps. Not great, not horrid. Oh my God, there's so many bugs. So many bugs on this car. We definitely need a car wash. Just charging up the GV70 Electrified here in Dunn, North Carolina. We're getting 176 kilowatt on this up to 180 Circle K charger. That is free if you activate it in the app, or 45 cents per kilowatt hour if you start it on the unit itself by paying on the card. And right away, we're getting 176 kilowatt. Not bad. God damn, that's nice. Now, we had arrived with 38%, and I think we're just about ready to go. Got a ton of charge. We're up to 86% in 18 minutes, 43 kilowatt hour. Not bad. And just like that, we're done charging. Maybe. I hit stop. Oh, I have to stop it from the phone. Interesting. Just stopped after 70 miles, averaging 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour, to charge here on a 350 in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. This is actually the station that Out of Spec used to film all of their range tests out of, I believe. I just hit the wrong side of the grill. But yeah, let's get plugged into this EA 350. Of course, it wouldn't be EA without two of the CCS handles at this station being broken. But let's get plugged in and get charging. And just like that, good enough top up. Just needed a quick 5 minutes just to make sure that we were confident enough in making it to Richmond. We were gonna be short by about 5 or 10 miles. So now we've got about a 30 or 40 mile buffer. Here in Richmond, Virginia, we averaged 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour and just plugged in. Let's see how our charging session does and what we plugged in at. I don't remember off the top of my head at this point, honestly. If this is slower than about 125 kilowatt, we're actually going to move over to some CPE 250s over in another parking lot right next door. We still have our Chevy EV Go credit, which can be used at charge points, so we'll just end up doing that. 12%. Yeah, I mean, technically we probably didn't need to stop and charge at our last stop, but 90 kilowatt, that is not enough. I'm gonna hit the charge point unit because this is not great. Ridiculous. That one doesn't work and is rated for 50. Ignore that 350 label. Ignore that 350 label. That's not a 350. That's a 50 kilowatt station. Just ask their app. This one will do 84. This one here, guy just plugged in, will do 84. And that's going to be the story basically down the range. This one would do 84. This one here is at 70, but he's at 90%, so I'm presuming he'd be like 85. And this one here is doing 88 kilowatt. Electrify America, fix your shit, please. I'm tired of trying to road trip and everything, and you guys are consistently delivering a subpar experience. I mean, we just charged at the Circle K station earlier today and had literally no issues. It was a great charging session. It was perfect. Yeah, no, you guys just need to fix your network. This sucks. Just a parking lot or two away, and we've got ChargePoint CPE 250s. They're rated for 62.5 kilowatt, but generally these are paired units, so I would not be surprised if in a moment or two we see this go above 62.5 kilowatt. All right, I stand corrected. This is stupid. You guys have 4 units here, and you can pair these units. but you decided not to. Good job. And on this one, let's see what this one ramps up to. I'm gonna bet you that this one also ramps up to about 54 kilowatt.
Charging started.
I am annoyed. And then we'll be heading back over to EA and charge at 54. Or at 85. Yeah. Okay, we're heading back over to EA. Oh, that's my own mistake. Still, charge point, totally could have wired those up better. I just cost myself not much time, but just more annoyance than anything else. Let's see what we start charging at. We're on station 8 now, just because I wanted a different station. All right, let's see. It also takes way too long to start charging on CCS compared to NACS, compared to the supercharger network, but nothing you can really do there. Charging at 57, 67. All right, we're already faster than over there. 99, 105, 110. All right, and now we're doing the stupid bouncing around thing. This stupid thing where it bounces around like crazy. But we're still peaking over 100 kilowatts, so that gives me hope for when it settles in that we'll actually get a pretty decent charge rate at least. Hopeful. Much better than the first station we started at. 118 kilowatt. I'll take that. EVgo, you are now officially my favorite charging company. With Drive Electric Virginia here, and I forget where we are. But being able to see the voltage, amperage, and kilowatt being delivered to the vehicle is awesome. I wish every charging provider had this. Also, I like how we're drawing more than the maximum amperage. Nuts. Got the nice Genesis GV70 electrified here. I'm actually waiting to meet up with a subscriber who has another GV60 Performance. He's got it in the copper color. It's almost like a copper or a rose gold. Yeah, he was actually scoping out the local EA station. Unfortunately, that one's extremely busy right now. So we're still using our Chevy Bolt EUV EVgo credit. Now this has a Tesla NACS plug. However, this uses the Chatamo communication standard, so I doubt it would work on any of those vehicles that are going to use NACS more modernly using the CCS charging standard. Or CCS communication. So, it'll be interesting to see. Now, I do still wish that they had spec'd 300 amp cables like we saw at the Circle K charging station, because then we'd be able to max out the 200 kilowatt that this thing is rated for. But, like I said, this I am still more than happy with. I'm quite enjoying the fact that we are currently getting, let's come over and take a look, 153 kilowatt at 60% state of charge. Battery voltage is 750, amperage obviously still 205, and we've been here 5 minutes and gotten almost 12 kilowatt hour. Really not bad, honestly. And yes, I know I parked like garbage. I don't remember what we exactly charged to. I know it was basically what we're at now, which is 90%, so it's probably 90 or 91%. At that stop, after plugging it right around 50, I'll get you final numbers and try and add them in a text box in post-processing. Got to our next charging stop pretty low. Let's power on and see what we're at. Come on, wake up. 51 miles of range, 22%. New set of hardware that I've never interacted with. I gotta wipe the camera off. Yeah, new set of hardware that I've never interacted with.
Charging started.
These are old ABB units. Interesting. I've mostly dealt with BTC Power and Signet units. It's a 350. Let's see how fast we get charging. It's at a Walmart that actually appears to still be open. 99, 113, 142. Wow, this software is slow. 157, 188, 202, fastest charging we've seen today. 220, 221. Well, I will take 221 kilowatt. I am very, very, very happy with that. It is currently, what, like 10:30 at night? Oh, my watch is dead. Thankfully the car isn't. Let's see. 10:40 at night. Yeah, this is great to see. We're just gonna pick out a hotel in the area and then we will head there once we're done charging. But 14 minutes until 80%. I haven't seen an actual good charging session like that in forever. And just like that, 16 minutes, 50 kilowatt hour. I think we're gonna unplug here because we're only getting 9 kilowatt because it's doing what Bjorn Nyland calls the Korean siesta. Basically, it does top balancing on the battery itself, especially in thermally constrained scenarios such as this one. Yeah, we're gonna be dumping so much energy into battery cooling. Let's end our charging session. See, we got 50.5 kilowatt hour in 16 minutes. And that's after letting battery balancing do some. God damn, that was a good charging session. That was crazy. Really good charging session, Electrify America. I'll give you props here. Our last one in Richmond at EA, not so great. But this one, amazing. So I definitely would recommend the charging, the Electrify America station here in, I gotta double check, in Somerville, New Jersey. Man, the GV70 looks mean. All right, guys, we're gonna hit the hotel for the night and I'll check back in with you guys in the morning. Pretty sure we are at our last stop on the trip, and after our last charge, we've gone 153 miles and averaged 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour. Let's get plugged in on the new EA350 hardware and we'll get it charging. Now we are quite low on our state of charge. Let's let it start charging and we'll see what we ramp up to. Met some really nice people in that Ioniq 5. They're actually road tripping down to St. Petersburg right now. Or they're road tripping up to Boston from St. Petersburg, Florida. And we ramped right up to 219 kilowatt. Man, I love the new EA350s. I love actually having proper charging hardware. You guys need to retrofit every station with these because Richmond, Virginia desperately needs these stations. We had issues with Richmond on both our trip down and our trip back up. Interesting to see that the Stamford, Connecticut Electrify America actually has onboard batteries. Onboard Tesla battery packs at the station itself. Really cool. Also, it is cool to see that they have 4 of these new ABB power cabinets, and they've got the Chatamo combined unit power cabinet that's in much older style. So what are these rated for? These are max 350 kilowatt. Okay. Interesting. Just cool to see all of this stuff. And you can just walk over here at some stations and not at others. Weird. I popped the hood because the Genesis dumps so much heat under the hood itself that I figured if I can just get some of the extra heat out, it might help keep us charging at peak rates a little bit longer. I know it's their brand new hardware. They have 1 station offline of their brand new hardware. Is what it is. This is why I like that they've installed 8 stations here. So we started at 15%. We've got 4 minutes left until 80. We're at 72%, and we were still getting like 160 kilowatt. Now we're getting 126. I think the battery's starting to overheat. It is hot over here. Yeah, the vehicle battery itself is almost at 50 degrees Celsius, which is kind of nuts. It's probably it is definitely running the cooling system as hard as it can to try and keep that battery cool and cool it back down. It's definitely thermally limited on our charging session though, that's for sure. right, we're at 81%. We could unplug now, but we're gonna get food and everything like that. Yeah, we're up to 81%, still getting 130-ish kilowatt. And that's after 18 minutes. I'd say that the 10 to 80% in 18 minutes is definitely very possible depending on your battery temperatures and everything. So after checking car scanner and everything, because the cable is so toasty hot, it actually has derated our charging speed to 29 kilowatt now that we're super up high. Yeah, it's saying that the station will only deliver 29 kilowatt. I'm assuming that's because the cable's so toasty and not because something else broke, but we were just at 224 to 230 kilowatt. So yeah. And at the end of our charging session, we got from 15 to 84%, delivering 59.7 kilowatt hour, and it was all free. And after our final segment, 160 miles, 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour, we arrived with 5%. And one faulty station at the other end later. Let's see what we charge at. Just waiting for it to start.
Charging started.
There we go. 5%, ramping right up. Hopefully we get like 160. But I doubt it. We'll probably get like 120, 130. It is my local EA station, and it's never amazing. It's usually just fine. Yeah, 112. That's about right. And just as what a way to finish up this trip, you can see just how different 115 kilowatt is versus the 220 that we were seeing at the last stop. It's been 28 minutes. We're still only at 51 kilowatt hour. And we're not even at 80% yet. I'm gonna have to unplug and replug to be able to hit 80%. And that is to hit 80% without being charged, because obviously the Genesis vehicles come with 3 years of free 30-minute charging sessions. Yeah. I think that's honestly gonna wrap up this entire long road trip. If you guys have any comments, questions, or anything like that, let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you guys like, subscribe for more content. We should have the GV60 back soon. Unsure exactly when, but like I haven't had the car for almost a month now, so I'm getting impatient. I have ended up putting about 4,300 miles on this GV70 Electrified. So if you guys would like a long-term review video for that, let me know down in the comments. And then you guys join me just one final time while I'm editing. So it looks like our trip took about 5 hours worth of charging. Obviously, we went 1,800 miles. We used about 650 kilowatt hour, and it was about 17 sessions. Yeah. I'm kind of surprised with some of the numbers looking back over things myself. It definitely took longer charging than it felt like while we were driving. It was really nice to have those stops most of the time.